Hey everyone, I'm Franklin.
And I'm Matt. And we are going to talk about what Strymon released.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They got some killer stuff. But before we get to that, later in the video, EarthQuaker Devices kind of snuck up on us this week with a release just kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah.
If you don't know who EarthQuaker Devices is, wonderful pedal company. They make some really cool, some really kind of abstract things. Mm-hmm. I'm a fan, personally.
No. I'll be honest, I don't know much about them. But again, I'm not the pedal guy, so guy here.
We'll tell you.
One day I'm going to get there, but again.
So what they've done is they have created essentially it's a looper. So, you've got your anywhere from 2 to 20 channel loopers that you put on your pedal board so that you can turn your pedals on and off from your signal chain kind of remotely. Well, on this one, they've got 2 basic send and receive loops. Mm-hmm. They have the ability to turn either of them on or off. They've got an overall boost built in, a dedicated input for your tuner, a dedicated input for your volume or expression pedal, and an A/B switcher. So like all the little external things they just cram together, and they're calling it the Swiss things.
The Swiss things.
I guess they're talking about like a Swiss Army knife.
So the Swiss Army knife of pedals.
We go.
The Swiss pedals, something like that. Hey,
so it'll clean up your board. That and by turning your loops on and off, you can cut your signal chain down. And as guitarists know, the more cable, the longer the cable is, the more degradation you have in your signal. So before it hits the board, it gets just dragged down as it goes through things. Mm-hmm. But if you cut part of it off, it eliminates a lot of that.
Yes. Sure. Again, I'm just like,
don't you guys
more buttons.
The keyboard stuff? He's got me on. I'll just sit over here like this. So yeah, that's what EarthQuaker, they kind of snuck up and released this on the 9th.
Yeah, it's pretty, I mean, from what I can tell, it's pretty cool to be able to loop all these outputs. And
very cool. And switch amps right out of the top, or use 2 amps at the same time, so it's another way to run stereo.
Okay, yeah.
Super cool system. Yeah. So good job, guys. That's a good thing to come around the corner. All these releases right before NAMM, too. NAMM coming up, and they're putting some of this stuff out.
Yeah.
But now, to what Strymon has done. So we talked, in the episode that came out not too long ago, what we thought they might release. Mm-hmm. You said the MIDI controller.
Yep.
Which I thought would have been cool. And then we talked about the big box. Overdrive, fuzz, distortion, metal zone. And
a Strymon metal zone.
Yes. And so what they've done instead is another delay pedal, which I didn't see coming. I don't feel like a lot of people saw coming, called the Volante.
Volante.
Totally
did not expect this at all.
Yeah, I was not thinking, let's do another delay, guys. But, I started looking into it and started, I was like, well, they've got to have expanded upon something, and they have. Mm-hmm. And so in the first episode, when we talked about what music we liked, I mentioned the Eagles and, some of that kind of stuff. Never been much of a Pink Floyd fan, but this is kind of up their alley. These kind of vintage sounds are just like the Echoplex sounds and the all the reel-to-reel stuff they use in the studio, the drum heads, all that for the delays and the repeats. Those really vintage sounds that, we've replicated as best as we can, but there's nothing like plugging a real Echoplex.
Oh yeah.
But they've got some cool things going on here with that. So as far as vintage sounds goes, this is up my alley, dude. So get ready, Strymon. Put me on your list, please. One of the coolest things I think about it, though, is the individual tape heads here. These are buttons where you can turn them on and off. But under the repeats section here, you see where it says golden. I don't know if you can see that from that camera, but it has a place where you can turn the repeats to a knob that says golden. And what that's pointing to is the golden ratio. Have you heard of that?
I have not. Well, I think I've heard of it, but I don't know the specific numbering, or what.
Yeah. So what it is, and again, I'm not a mathematician. I push buttons. The golden ratio is some kind of mathematical sequence. Because music is math. Life is math. Everything's pretty much math. Franklin is math.
I'm not very good at math, but it happens a lot in my mind, yeah, sure.
So what happens is it's a way to set two delays, set a second one. It's like 0.618 of the first delay. So they bounce off each other a particular way so that the delay time does not necessarily matter. All of the repeats will sound good in any sequence because of the ratio that they're set at. And I know that sounds like a bunch of complicated mumbo jumbo. Basically, turn it to golden, and it's going to sound great no matter what you're doing.
It's going to sound golden.
I
mean, that's why it's called golden, right? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I just had to do it.
Just like what Strymon did, I was not expecting. Franklin today.
Hey.
So there you have it. You've got the EarthQuaker devices, Swiss Things, and the Strymon Volante. I like to say it like it's a...
It's pretty cool. It is a pretty cool device.
Very cool. Some cool things. So in the future, expect another video pedal shootout. I want to pit the timeline against this bad boy. Obviously, the timeline still does more, has more settings, but I got to hear it.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for those things. Stay tuned with us. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WorshipCast.com, YouTube, all the other things. Like, comment, subscribe. Keep up with us. We've got more episodes coming out on Tuesdays, and
NAMM's coming up.
It is. Special coverage for that. So you guys come hang out with us. Thank you so much. And thank you, Strymon. And thank you, EarthQuaker Devices.